Do, 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 do.
Wait,
Good
what?
morning. Morning. It's Monday. I survived the weekend.
I barely did. I drove back and forth from Dallas, 2.5 hours one way.
This is a tall cup of coffee right here, my friend.
Yeah, man. That's coffee? That's actual Java?
Yeah, man.
Wow, nice.
I during the winter months and early spring, I will drink the shit out of coffee. It is oh my god, I just love coffee.
There's
Yeah.
no reason not to drink coffee in summer, Gary.
Well, once it gets hot in the studio, there's a reason not to drink it.
No, not for me.
I want a tall, cool, refreshing glass of caffeinated lemonade.
There you go.
And they do. They make caffeinated lemonade. So,
Yep.
and I get that, and that's how I get my caffeine addiction taken care of. Let's see. My goodness.
Like a poser.
I just need the taste of coffee to start my day.
I don't know what's going on with some of my friends. All of a sudden, there's this beef flaring up about them. We don't need to comment on it. But then all of a sudden, right after a beef flares up, bogus accounts show up of my friends. And I think that's really fucking weird.
You think?
Yeah, I do. And I don't like it. So I went and I reported those accounts, those bogus accounts, and I'm not going to tolerate that shit with my friends. I don't like that, man. That's dirty baseball is what we call that. Dirty baseball. Like Black Sox level dirty baseball.
Yeah, Black Sox. Oof.
Don't know what it is.
Black Sox?
Join the club, Martin.
Oh,
Well, the
dude, yeah.
Black Sox became the White Sox once they learned to use bleach.
What the?
It's probably the most famous
baseball scandal in the history of the sport.
Most famous fixing of any sporting event, really.
Any sporting event, that's true. I mean, look, I know that, I just forgot his name. Oh my God. The guy that used to jump in the air and land on the base.
Evil Knievel.
No, it was.
Talking baseball here.
Martin. Oh, sorry.
Anyway, he was banned.
Talk about Pete Rose, I think.
Pete Rose. He's not allowed. They'll never allow him, which I think is wrong, because he still broke records.
Oh my God, Charlie Hustle's one of the greatest.
Agreed that he shouldn't. He's should never be allowed back in the game in any way, shape, or form. But for what he achieved, that should be recognized. And I think that's bullshit.
In the Hall of Fame, yeah.
Baseball Hall of Fame won't allow him because of his gambling.
And
he did fix the game.
There's a current story going on in Major League Baseball that everybody that is a Charlie Hustle fan, that's a Pete Rose fan, is keeping their eye on. That Shohei Ohtani story about he's a Japanese guy that the Dodgers signed to a huge contract, and there's been a scandal. His interpreter is facing charges.
Is he on a Japanese team or an American team? I don't recognize.
It's an American team, the Dodgers, the LA Dodgers.
Oh, he's with the Dodgers.
They signed this Japanese player that's fantastic, but there's a cloud over it because his interpreter apparently gambled away $16 million of his money.
Whoa.
That's what they're saying. He's some think that he's taken the bullet for this guy, that the guy was actually doing the gambling.
He was doing the gambling in his turf. Yeah. Oh,
that's the thing. They think
now that's dirty baseball too.
Keep an eye on that, Pete Rose fans. It's a huge story right now.
What's the number again?
60? 16 million. This guy signed a $200 million contract.
16 million, not 60.
Yeah.
16. 16.
Woohoo.
Yeah. So keep an eye on that one. Yeah.
Welcome, Sci-Fi Mombi, and Andy Morrow, who says that it's pie time. Well,
pie time.
Pie is timeless.
It's always
any
pie
time,
time, man.
Yes.
Especially if it's apple pie or cherry pie, man. It's always pie time.
Apple's my favorite. It's really good stuff.
That was one of the funniest things I caught in the show, is that they don't have pie. They eat like Jell-O cake. It's like, what the fuck?
The only
we're talking about the show
McDonald's for now
Fallout
is those pocket apple pies they have.
Now, back in the old days, they were fried, deep fried.
Yes,
but I was happy while I was working there as a teenager. They started baking the pies, and that's when I started eating them. But I will tell you that when I was a little kid, my dad and I would go to McDonald's and we'd order an ice cream cone, but not in a cone, but in a container, like a Big Mac container, and an apple pie, and we would have pie a la mode at McDonald's. Man, it was awesome. Soft serve ice cream, man. Fond memories of me and my dad. It wasn't all bad.
You see, this is the one that I liked. Beef and veg.
What are you talking about?
Beef and veg
pies.
Oh,
have that at McDonald's.
Meat pie. He's talking about a meat pie.
Oh, pasties. Yeah, they're good. I like them too. I like steak and kidney. I love steak and kidney pie. I love, as Beth would say on news radio, I love.
It may not be blood wine, but it's close enough.
I'll tell you something interesting. My friend, Shirley Levasseur, she tells me that up there in the New England states, where she's at in Connecticut, that seasonally, McDonald's has McLobster. They actually serve lobster at the McDonald's there.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I don't believe it. There are ways.
I would.
There
What
are
the fuck are you
ways.
talking about? Like,
Big
you're
thing
calling
up
my
there,
friend a
man.
liar.
No. But there are
Her
ways.
husband too, because they would tell me about it before he died.
There are ways to fake lobster meat.
No, it's only in the. Oh my God! Shut up, Martin.
Martin, dude, I steamed 33 lobster while I was up in Maine seeing my mother.
They do that in regional areas in McDonald's. They'll serve regional food there.
Regional food, yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a big thing up there.
Yep. Overseas. My problem with McDonald's overseas is I ate at the one in London, and I don't know if it was the altitude change, but man, oh man, that did not taste like a Big Mac when I ate it. It tasted like meatloaf, and it was weird.
Whoa,
I didn't like it.
Meatloaf, that's not good.
Yeah, it just had a weird meatloaf taste to it. And look, I love meatloaf, but I know to expect it when I open my mouth to eat it.
Yeah, right.
When you go to open a Big Mac, but take a bite out of a Big Mac, you expect that specific flavor.
Right.
The ground beef, the pickles, and the sauce, and that bun. And no, it tastes like meatloaf, and it was bizarre. I hated that.
I'm pretty sure
The French fries were
over
good.
here is different, Gary, from what you're used to in the US.
Well, I ate a lot of beef over there, and I like the beef in England.
Europe
Where's
is
the
so
beef?
strict about food.
Oh, let me run Tim's video.
By what name are you known?
There are some who call me Tim.
Oh, we have Penny in the house.
Hi, Penny.
Hi, Penny.
Oh, Andy wants to
I
know.
will let you guys know that the interview I had with Pops is out. It was released yesterday. I'm going to put it in the chat for you guys. First, I'm going to copy the thing and the link. This is the interview with Pops, so go enjoy that. It was a fun interview. I like that guy. I really do. I like when he drops in our chat, too.
Yeah.
I was hoping he would stay on Friday so I could meet him after the show, but he had to drop out.
It was nice to be able to put a face at the name.
And of course, I made fun of him for being bald and old. Oh, man, but he's such a great guy. I just thoroughly enjoy talking to this guy. Sharp dude. Sharp dude. So let's get into this. We're going to be talking about the film 300 today, which is, look, whether you like Zack Snyder or not, this is a great film.
Yes, mainly because he didn't write it. Right, he didn't write it.
Yes, thank you, Martin. He did not write it. It is not even written by Frank Miller. He's the artist on it. It was written by the other gentleman. But it is best known as a Frank Miller graphic novel, and he used the art of Frank Miller to storyboard the film. So the film has a very distinct graphic novel look to it. It looks like the book. And I think that's actually really good for the film, because otherwise I think it would have not worked as well, to be honest with you, if he had gone for a more realistic look. Because there are so many things wrong with the film historically, just so many things
wrong. The look of Xerxes, oh my god.
Oh, Xerxes was and the Persians was ridiculous.
They made him a prince.
Okay, wait. However, there's an explanation for that.
Because it's in the book.
No, in the movie. I mean, in the movie, you have the events are being related by Delios. So he's kind of a minstrel.
Delios.
It's an unreliable narrator. He's aggrandizing. He's embellishing, and of course, your enemies has to look devilish,
larger than life, right? Yeah.
And of course, Delios is a fictional character based on
Aristodemus,
the real guy. Pronounce it however you fucking want. I'm not going to.
At least get the name right.
Care. Okay. I don't care. I'm trying to say something and you're interrupting.
Because you got the name completely wrong.
Nobody watching this gives a shit. Nobody cares.
I do.
Thermopylae was a battle that was fought on two levels. It was fought in the ocean, and it was fought on the land there, on the land bridge. And it was done strategically in order to force the massive forces of Xerxes to be forced to go narrow.
Funnel them.
In their fighting. Yep. Exactly. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing that Wallace would do at the Stamford Bridge. They don't show it in the film, so don't look for that in the movie. For some reason, the battle at Stamford Bridge had them battle on the hills, not on the bridge. It was really weird. And he forced the British to go single file across a walking bridge. And he just slaughtered them. Because they didn't know how to fight against the Scottish.
Lemmings to the slaughter.
However, the Thermopylae is not as narrow as in the movie. At all. It's still a narrow pass, but it's not that alley.
What was the name of it? Hell's Gate? Is that what it's called?
Hell's Gate.
Yeah.
And Aristodemus would be the guy that survived because he got an eye infection. There was another gentleman that got an eye infection from a wound, and he stayed to die. But Aristodemus went back, and he did not get a hero's welcome when he got back. He was treated like absolute shit. He was given the nickname the Trembler. He was refused service.
He didn't want to go back, right? He wanted to stay. Yeah,
it's loosely based on two people, but the guy that went back did go back, and he, just like in the film, they do show it's a year later. And that, in reality, that is what happened. He did go back a year later, and he vindicated himself in battle and was killed in battle at the second
However,
battle of Thermopylae against
ho-
Xerxes.
however, he came back, and it is because of him that everybody couldn't evacuate, because he is sent back to just to tell the people we couldn't stop them, evacuate the city.
Well, all I know is this. I have watched that scene at the end of that movie so many times, I can't even count it. I love that scene at the end of the
Yes.
movie. It is
This
one of the
speech is
greatest
awesome.
When
ever.
he's leading the charge.
Yeah, oh my God.
Yeah,
it's
at
so
the end.
awesome.
And that's what
Yes.
happened. He actually lunged into battle, not recklessly. It was described as
Yes,
just heroic.
recklessly.
Mhm.
No,
They said it was not recklessly. Witnesses
I did
said it
I
wasn't
did
reckless.
research today, and they couldn't
I did
fully
too.
respect him because they had more respect for Spartans who fought and still wanted to survive the battle, and he didn't. He just charged in there. That's what I found out.
And I
So
think
yes,
that it was
he did
because he
himself,
wanted
but
his family treated better.
yeah.
Mm.
He wanted to give his life so his family be treated better because they were all punished because of his coming back. Service was refused him. And I still
What a brutal
beg to differ
culture,
on that
man.
because what I read on it was that some said that it was a wild attack, but not reckless, that he was going with an abandon
Mhm.
and a bloodlust. So,
What a brutal culture, the Spartans, huh? My
It's
God.
the same
well,
thing
look,
with Japanese.
it depends again on the historian you read.
Mhm.
There'll be those who go, "Oh no, they were just the ground military." No, they weren't. Nobody could stand against them
I was fixing
one
to
on
say.
one. It's like they were the elite forces of their time. And I've read historians who just go on about how they're just stop romanticizing. It's like it's not romanticizing; it's understanding.
Some of their
That-
tactics are still used
Dude,
today. I mean,
Dude,
come
when
on.
they
you
were the
see
ones
the
who
phalanx,
created the wedge formation,
Yes,
which is
yes,
still used by the U.S.
which
Army.
every United States
the
soldier
wedge
is
formation,
taught at the
and
beginning of
the
the training. It's ridiculous.
and the phalanx. When you see the phalanx operating, that shit looks like a combine machine.
Mhm.
It's crazy looking. It is crazy looking. And I watched a really cool historical video one time on what the phalanx actually looked like. And it's pretty fucking scary. I wouldn't want to go up against guys doing that. I'm like, fuck that noise.
How do you get through? I mean,
Now, I will tell you that, again, the armor's not correct in this.
No,
They did not walk around shirtless.
come on, that's for the ladies. You had to have
Yeah.
six-pack abs to be in, and I think they actually
There's a
airbrushed
lot of
the
homoeroticism
six-pack
in this
abs
too, my friend. But I will tell you that I don't care. I enjoy this film so damn much.
Yeah.
But this is a fantasy version of the story.
Mhm.
The shit that Leonidas went through is it's even worse than what they show in this film. The only thing I don't like here is when they show the mother like being held back because they're sending the son out. And she would have absolutely cheered him on.
Mhm.
That's the women were badasses in that culture.
This is Leonidas' mother, and you can see there's some heir to Leonidas' wife, some resemblance.
Well, Leonidas' dad too, the actor, looks a lot like Leonidas. There's a similarity.
Here's the thing. Leonidas' mother was his father's niece, and Queen Gorgo, Leonidas's wife, was his niece too. So that is why there are so much resemblance.
That's creepy.
That's interesting. A little Jerry Lee Lewis thrown into the Spartan lore. Nice.
Yeah.
Like it. One before we get too far away from it, using Frank Miller's drawings to
look at this comment.
I told you that was for the girls. Using Frank Miller's art to plot this movie. I mean, much like Sin City, makes it a beautiful film. Any friggin' frame of this movie you can put on the wall as a piece of art. You really can.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Now,
good
let
art.
me tell you the thing that I like most is that almost every scene that occurs in daylight, it's always lit like golden hour.
Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm.
And here we have a foreshadowing of the Thermopylae, because that is what he used to be the wolf.
Right.
Yep. Trap him.
That's it. Pretty cool.
I think it was funny when Anima saw the glowing eyes, like, why is his eyes glowing? I went, because it's in the comic book.
Yeah, and then the narrator starts talking about eyes glowing red, and I'm like, they glow yellow.
The whole thing is supposed to be artistic, and it's supposed to be over the top. Yeah.
And it is narrated by the same guy. Delius is narrating this, so he's exaggerating.
Delius. I'm sorry, that's from another movie, and it just cracks me up.
Well, because Leonidas sent him home so he could tell everybody about the Brave 300.
Hey. Should we do Meet the Spartans?
No. No.
I
don't
that
think
movie.
it's that good a film, but no.
I like that. I like when Gorgo kills the character that he's a traitor, but in the movie it's not called Theron, but Traitorus. And when they find the gold, say, "Oh, he was a traitor," and somebody guy, "What? Traitorus was a traitor?" And it's
that's awesome right there. When they're riding over the hills, that's straight out of the book. That shot right there is right out of that book, man. That is ridiculous how cool that is. Yeah, you can like Snyder or not, he does some beautiful visuals, man. He really does.
He is a visual artist. He is one of my favorite photography directors ever. And as a director, he's a decent one.
What's the actress that plays the queen? I love her.
Yes, Lena Headey. She's Mama, and she is Queen Xerxes.
Yeah, I loved her in the short-lived Terminator series, Sarah Connor Chronicles. I thought she was.
I didn't know she was there.
She's Sarah Connor in it, man. Yeah. Yep. Everybody remembers the robot from that one, but yeah, she's Sarah Connor in it. Yeah.
Here we go. I got to share this real quick. This is what I'm making fun of when I say Delios. It's from American Dad.
Oh my God.
Contos.
That's what I'm making fun of.
That's great.
With the name Delios.
Oh man.
It just puts that song in my head that they sing when he's about to beat the shit out of Stan.
Right. Dude, this is a great look.
This and what's really cool, trivia.
Yeah.
I want to give the trivia about this scene. He did this scene so many different ways, and finally he turned to Zack and says, "Let me do it one more time." And this time he delivers the line, yelling the line, "This is Sparta."
Yeah.
And oddly, that was the one Zack wanted, because he didn't think it was going to work. He thought it was silly. Gerard did, but oh my God, everybody fell in love with it, and it is one of the greatest moments in cinema history.
You know it, man. How many times have you heard that? Yeah, it's been repeated over and over again since this movie came out. Yeah,
because each time he did it, he spoke it. This is Sparta, But that last time he wanted one more take, and he wanted to really let loose, and that's what they use in the damn film. And again, shot for shot, this is just like it is in the graphic novel.
I like the line from Gorgo when the person says, "What makes that woman think that she can speak amongst men?" It's because Spartan women are the only ones that give birth to true men. Boom!
Yeah. No shit, right? Bye. You share the fate, right?
That'll teach you to dress like a ninja.
All right. Oh man, too funny.
Watching Shogun, I was explaining that they're not really showing it this time, the assassins, but even though later they would be called ninjas, the assassins were farmers, and all their weapons that they use in the famous ninjutsu, which I think is a funny name, are farm implements that were fashioned into weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That makes
And
sense. That
they became
gives me a
assassins.
whole different vision of a Psy. That really does, man.
But they rarely went against samurai,
Okay.
and which is a misnomer. And they often did fight along with samurai.
Do you know what is the first use of a sai?
Mm.
Is to harvest rice.
Grain, yeah, harvesting
Really?
grains, yeah, beating the
That
grain.
gives me a totally different perspective on those weapons. That's crazy, man. That's awesome. The
And it
things you learn
inspired
on
the
Military
police
Monday.
baton. The police baton, what is it, the P-38, is that it?
Mm.
P-38 baton is
Yeah.
based on the Sai. Or not the Sai, I'm sorry.
No.
The Tongfa,
Mm-hmm.
based on the Tongfa. And Tongfa is what they use to beat rice, not the Sais. As I recall, Sais were like used for like stringy stuff that they would have to work with. And then they used them as weapons, man. And they were formal with those weapons. But one of the reasons why they would go by dark and to kill and then flee was because they could not compete with real trained warriors. But they were very good assassins. Good morning, Dead Man Walking. How are you doing, my friend? Penny, good morning. Who else is here? Let's see if we got every
We have
Tim is here, of
Tim
course.
and Andy Morrow.
And of course, Sci-Fi Mombi, who is I accidentally ended up on one of her streams and really was unaware that she was a female. I was like, oh, you're a woman. And then it's like, yeah, the name Mom B. I get it now. Mom Zombie. I get it. I thought it was just some sort of bullshit name, like, you know,
Oh
the guy in the box with Pee Wee Herman. The made-up name. And there, of course, the coins that have Xerxes' head on it. I think that's interesting that he gave him that money.
That's Xerxes' head? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that was coins with Xerxes' head on it, which we would see again later in the film.
Yes. All the person coins that are shown in the film.
Are we going to see any
Xerxes'
Monkey
head.
Jeebus in this?
No.
Oh,
I curated it.
I'm disappointed.
You got to see all that yesterday without Monkey Jeebus' face on it. So
Yeah, but I
Hey,
was looking
man.
forward to seeing Monkey Jeebus' head.
Hey, man, this is a cool scene. I enjoyed this scene.
Oh, it's a husband and wife. Absolutely a great moment.
It is great. It's awesome. Everything right, including the stuff you'd have to paint out. You know, there's a place for adult stuff and adult movies, and this is a great scene, if you ask me. I really think it's awesome.
I am so not the coolest vet. You have not met very, very many vets, man. That's all I got to say, Wade. There are so many vets I know that are so much cooler than me.
he's just flirting with you as always.
Oh, don't say that. That's all right.
But yeah, man,
is kind
his
of
advisors and the young guys. We see. I don't think I had seen Fassbender in a movie before.
Yeah, this
before
is one of his first films. He
Yeah.
plays a major character in this.
There's
He went from this to working with Dale Dye on Band of Brothers.
I actually saw Dale Dye in a movie I've forgotten he was in the other day. I bought Always.
Yeah.
Spielberg's movie about that's kind of like Ghost, I guess, is the closest thing I could call it. It's about the pilots that put out fires, and he was the fire boss in it. It was pretty cool. I had forgotten completely he was in that movie. Yeah.
Now these are real fields. They just replace the sky to make it look more CG.
Mm-hmm.
And everything looks golden.
Yeah, everything's right at sunset or sunrise, right? Yeah.
No, and the
I'm talking about the coloring. I know it's not. It's just
No, the wheat, the wheat. I mean,
mm-hmm.
not only the sky, but the fields of wheat are golden.
Mm-hmm. Oh. This is such great stuff. See, I'm gonna have to go back and watch this movie again now. You know, Good stuff.
My buddy Mike, I will tell you right now, is way cooler than me. He's on WTF radio. He's been on the show, and we're close friends. I got him to open up on Dangerous Nerds one day about his combat and wounding in Afghanistan, and what an emotional roller coaster ride that was. Dude is so cool, Wade. You got to meet that dude.
Yeah.
You will stop referring to me as the coolest guy after you meet Mike.
My hero, veteran wise, is my stepson, David Burrows. He's a veteran of the Iraq War. Still has a busted back to this day because he was shot in the back, and the only thing that saved him was him
ballistic armor.
Yeah, his armor, and it was while he was taking a piss.
Still like getting hit with a fucking ball bat.
Mm-hmm.
I tell people, that body armor only protects your skin from being pierced.
Yeah,
it doesn't stop the bones from being broken.
The energy transfer is there.
Yep. So these are what were they? I forget their
Arcadian.
Arcadians. They are not part of the 300, and they joined them. But he points out the fact that we have warriors too, and he goes, "You, what do you do?" He goes, "I'm a palta."
Right.
I'm a teacher. And it's like, Spartans, what do you do? Right. Warriors. Right. It's all we do.
Well, at least that speaks highly of the Arcadian, because the everyday people went to defend their country.
I will also point out that they were, in the end, they surrendered to Xerxes.
But still they fought.
Not mentioned in the film. Any of the Greeks that weren't part of the Spartan group, all the Spartans were killed on location. And once they were dead, anybody else that was left over fucking surrendered.
Right. The point
we
men
want
are
no
gone.
fault of this.
Right. Oof. Yeah, now this character here, wow. You feel for him, but at the same time, dude, is there anything gets you turned against your people? Oh my God. Wow. This guy right here.
Which one?
The guy they're fixing to talk to, the for lack of a better word, the gimp.
The hunchback.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We're eventually going to do Red Dawn because I like that movie a lot. The original, not the.
It's a good movie. It's wholly unbelievable, but it's a good movie. Yeah.
It's partially believable because I guarantee you, if we were ever invaded, we would fight back.
Well, of course we'd fight back, but I don't think anybody would ever invade us, man. It would take too much logistically to take this country, man.
Oh yeah, it would be a coastal assault,
right?
Not Texas, not nowhere in the Midwest.
Come on,
because 70% of Missourians. Did you know this? 70% of Missourians are armed.
Yeah, dude, I think that number translates to just about every state in the union. I would say. I'd say
and they're not even counting the gangs in St. Louis.
Well,
right.
Well, you have a fifth column. Remember that. You have all the liberals chanting death to America, now in Palestinian. So
let's not get into that. What is this tree? They killed a bunch of people and put them on a tree.
Yeah, I know, right? It's from Conan, the Tree of Woe.
The Tree of Woe.
They nailed the whole village to the freaking
the entire village is up on that tree.
Oof, man, unreal. Yeah, his advisors. There's no way these guys fought without their torsos covered. You know what I mean? It's really cool looking for the movie and everything. I'm sure the girls like it, but
you haven't seen the statues. In the statues, they only use the helmet.
The crushing of these ships, and actually, this was not what happened. What happened was there was a great sea battle. 2 battles fought that day. One on the ocean and one on land. And what they did is they transferred that battle to the second film.
Yeah.
300 Part 2. And why it was called 300 Part 2, I don't know.
No, the Rise of an Empire.
It was, they showed the sea battle in that one, and which is incorrect. It actually took place during this battle, and it was a strategic battle that won the day. What happened to Spartans? They died, and they are etched into history as how one should be willing to go. But they were not victorious. In the film, they show the victory of him spearing Xerxes. That didn't happen. And making him bleed, showing he wasn't a god. That's not what happened at all. But it's a, you know, it's a great film. I don't give a shit how accurate
Right.
it is.
Historically,
However-
yeah, incorrect. but,
However,
man,
it is said that Xerxes indeed rose from his throne 3 times, like in the movie, in anger and desperation. When receiving the news that we have been beaten again, the guy stood up. And
Now-
yes, some of his general went to the afterlife prematurely because of that.
Yes, how dare you lose? Now,
Meanwhile-
Xerxes is actually more interesting looking than what they show in this. This is weird designs that they had. The real Xerxes was bearded with long hair
Mhm.
and a crown. And I've found some really great paintings of him over the years. Not to mention the etchings we have of him, the reliefs that were carved at the time. Show him with a braided beard.
Mhm.
But I'm trying to find the one painting I've always liked where he's sitting on his throne.
Fassbender's not in the movie long, but he's memorable. You know, I remember every
Oh, he has
Oh,
some
I-
good
he's in.
scenes in here and great lines.
Yeah.
He's the one
Mhm.
who says, we'll fight them in the shade.
Yep.
Which is on the modern Greek uniforms, and I think it's great.
He is the one who cuts this guy arm. He's the one who
We kind of
the-
jumped over it, but I like the subplot going on, the politics back home as this is going on. I like that a lot.
Oh, that comes later.
Well, they just showed her friend setting up the meeting with the senator. There, but
From what I found out, they bought the rest of Greece time to get their shit together and
Yes.
that was the whole
get
point.
the army together.
That was the whole
yeah.
point, to slow them down so that they could have time to group and get ready. I mean, I'm pretty sure those guys knew it was a suicide mission they were going on, you know.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So
They were there to help make a war happen because they knew it was necessary.
Yeah.
And so they were willing to sacrifice themselves.
Well, you need
Here
to
is
understand Xerxes
here is the
too.
painting that I wanted to talk about, the one on the left. Even though this is also a classic piece of artwork on the right, that is what Xerxes pretty much looked like. According
gee whiz,
to
he looks a lot like Leonidas in this movie.
yeah, which is, I don't know
It
if
was
this is
fashion
why
back then,
they
I think.
changed him.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it was a artistic decision by Frank
Mhm.
Miller to make things look the way they did. But that is what he looked like, and he typically wore a crown that was like tall, like almost like what the Pope wears.
He the one in this movie almost comes off like he's an alien. You know, he's trying to say he's a god, and the guy's huge and everything. But I'm like,
Yeah, they made him a giant, and on
Yeah.
top of that, like have like a really
the crazy ass voice. Yeah.
There's Fassbender.
Mhm. I'm sorry, I'm a big fan of Fassbender. Ever since I saw him as Magneto in the
Every time I see this, the captain, I think like his looks like a young version of you, Joe.
Yeah. Freaking Fassbender in as Magneto in the new X-Men movies.
Oh,
He's the best thing in them. I mean, period. Even though they're some of them are bad movies, he always shines the brightest in all of them.
he was like Eric Bond.
Yeah, man. I tell you what, that
when
scene,
he's hunting the Nazis, it's the best
exactly
scene of the
the
movie.
one down in Argentina, it's fantastic. That's one of the best scenes in any X-Men movie ever. Blood or honor, huh? Okay, which do you want? He starts slinging that knife around. It's awesome, man. It's great. Yes.
My favorite film with him is Inglourious Bastards, even though I don't like
he's
the
good in
film
that.
much.
Yes, actually, yeah, he gets them outed, doesn't he? The way he calls for the pints and
Instead of this.
shit. Yeah, he screwed it up. Yep. Oh man. Yep. Fassbender is a talent, no doubt about it. I haven't watched The Killer yet. Have you?
No.
Not
Netflix
interested
movie?
in it.
Really?
I read the story synopsis, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, it
Characters
seems
like
like
that
it's
aren't
been told
interesting
a
to
lot
me.
of times, right? Another
It's a
assassin
tired
movie.
story. It is a tired story. And I just like to, no, I've got better things to do with my time.
Yeah, I've put some things
And
on
when
the
critics rave about it, I know it's going to be garbage.
right. That's an easy way to turn most of us off.
Yeah, it's the audience rating you care about, not the critics.
Man, the Spartan helmets are like the Judge Dredd helmet. Everybody puts on them and looks like a demon.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely like their helmets in this flick.
And he had like 12 different helmets because the helmet gets more and more damaged as the battle goes on. So they made different helmets to yeah.
Cool.
It wasn't just the one.
Are you talking about the real battle or the production of the
Probably
movie?
talking about the production of it, huh? Yeah. Wow. Yeah, good luck getting through that, buddy.
Oh.
It's such an amazing technique.
I remember getting out of the cinema and telling my girlfriend at the time, I am disappointed. I expected more violence on this movie. And she said to me,
"What?"
And she said, "Oh, now I'm gonna tell you the same thing I told her. The first day of combat, they were 150,000 dead.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
crazy that they could kill that many guys. But then again, they were sending their worst troops at them to begin with, right? They sent it in the pawns, just like any.
Yeah, the ground became mud with blood, and they were sunken to their knees in that.
This
mud.
is what their armor actually looked like.
Yeah,
what they wore that
breastplates.
day.
Yeah, I can buy that a lot.
They had breastplates. They had the scaled that looks like a skirt. To protect the groin and thigh
and shoes.
They didn't use long swords though. I thought that was interesting that they used medium and short swords
because their primary weapons are spears.
Yeah, right.
And they were longer than the spears that the Persians used, so they were.
Now this is the scene that blew everybody away. The way that Snyder filmed this, the slow motion, fast and slow.
Oh man,
strikes are happening.
It makes the impact of every blow greater. It's an awesome way to do it. It was really cool. I thought it was great. Yeah.
I consider this probably the best film he would ever make.
Yeah. It's by far his best movie ever. Yeah. No doubt.
Because I don't think he doesn't understand story structure.
No, you're right. So, if he's writing it, yeah, we're in trouble. But if he's
and that of course is the classic image from the cover of the graphic novel. Knocking the Persians off the cliff.
Be right back, guys. Coffee time.
Speaking of Snyder, they released his last Abomination, the second part of Rebel Moon. Oh my goodness! How could he entice?
Is it out already?
Yeah,
it is.
How?
Well,
yeah.
I guess I gotta watch it. Okay.
How did he manage to convince Netflix to do those things? My God, they're unwatchable. Oh, I know that voice.
Yes, that's Rocket Kitty giving us her 5 cents.
You're muted, Gerry.
You're muted.
Hear. No, I'm not.
I'm not muted.
But if you're making a noise, your mic isn't picking it up.
Yeah. I am. I was making fun of her meow.
Yeah, your mic didn't want to cooperate.
Her fancy, really kind of gay meow.
Stop shitting on my cat. Fuck
Well,
you.
she's a pussy, so
Yes, she is.
I like Loki's meow.
Even when he's loud and annoying because he wants to be fed.
no cats.
Ah!
Yeah. He can get so loud when he's hungry.
It's like a cat yelling, "Hey! Hey!"
Yeah.
over and over again. Is a really good actor here that plays this one politician, senator. And Headey does an amazing job here. She's really good
She
in this
is
role.
such a good actor.
This is a
Everything
creepy
she does.
scene when he shows up with his kid and she like pulls her kid from him.
That's when you know you can't trust him.
The reason I don't like this guy as an actor is because he always looks like a villain, even when he's supposed to be a good guy. I can't stand him as an actor because of that. He was terrible as Jigsaw.
Well,
It was
yeah,
too over the top. I hated it.
yeah. He and his brother. They are both good actors, but man,
And that dude is a creepy dude in real life. The
Yeah.
guy that played his brother. Dude
Yeah,
married a girl, underage girl, and went on the talk show circuit and thought he was going to make an argument because the parents were good with it. And it's like, that doesn't make it right. You know, because I would have put his eyes out if that was Zoe. He would have disappeared.
It's just wrong.
This look on his guy. I really hate
It's so
Xerxes.
ridiculous.
oh man, I can't remember if this guy is Brazilian or Portuguese.
Well, he's Hispanic. You can tell by his accent.
No, he's Rodrigo Santoro. He's either Brazilian or Portuguese, and I have seen.
I just said he's Hispanic, and you go, no. I'm like, why do you do
Hispanic,
that?
no, is no Portuguese or Brazilian. Hispanic is from Hispania, aka Spanish, or what you call it.
You know, if you stand
Spain.
a Portuguese person next to a Spanish person, they start talking. It's
Nope.
the same language.
No,
Oh
no,
my
it's a
goodness.
one-way street. It's a one-way street. The Portuguese person will understand the Spanish person, but not the other way around.
Wrong. We
Oh,
can
it's the other
understand
way around.
Portuguese.
Okay.
We can understand each other, but because it's rooted all in Latin. A Portuguese can understand a Spanish person, and a Spanish-speaking person can understand a Portuguese. The only one who break that rules are the French. They're the only Romance language that you have to study that shit to understand it.
I was told it's like with Slovenians and the rest of Yugoslavians. The Slovenians can understand them, but a Croatian will have trouble understanding a Slovenian speaking.
Yeah, I remember Mildred at one time my wife, she started to study Portuguese, and then we were going to mainly touristical sites here in Mexico, and you can in Mexico City there's a lot of tourists, man, of international tourists, and we could pick up which Portuguese speaking were from Brazil and which were from Portugal just by the intonation. Same words, a completely different intonation. The Brazilian Portuguese is almost like singing. The immortals. They call these guys the immortals because they were always in incredible numbers, and they all look the same because they use masks. So the soldiers said that you kill one of them and then he was replaced, but it looks exactly like the guy that you just killed. So it's like they were immortals.
That ugly bastard right there. Oh my God.
That guy is having a real case of constipation.
I mean, dude. Come on. Get off the juice. It's not good for you, sir. Damn. That guy was crazy looking. Really was.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. The visuals in this thing are nuts. The wall of bodies they built. that was cool.
Yeah, because at first they used the guy as mortar,
Mm-hmm.
and then this don't use any more rocks, just
Just
pile the
pile the
guys.
bodies up. Screw it. That's it. Pretty wild. I mean, put a sword right through his bicep, and he just, or excuse me, his tricep underneath, and he just pulls it. No, it was his bicep.
No,
It was
it's
his
the
top,
bicep.
wasn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he pulls
No,
it
I
right
think
out.
it went
I'm like,
between the
oof.
muscle and the bone,
Oof.
which is why he still could use his arm.
Ay, 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 ay.
Yeah.
The muscle inserts at the top of the arm and at the bottom of the arm.
Mhm.
Where he sliced would have, if anything, would have done damage to the brachial artery.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't have done much damage to the muscle.
Well,
wow. And there goes his head. Woof. Yikes. Yeah, it's a brutal movie. This movie's not for the squeamish, no doubt.
No.
I found it too tame, as I already said.
Yeah, it's entertaining. I'm just saying, it's. I don't know if you guys have watched Fallout, but the violence in that is
Oh,
We
this.
started it. We
It's a
started
lot
it
like
last
this.
night.
It's pretty
Gerry and I.
gruesome, you know.
Oh my god, yeah. I did not expect it to be that brutal.
Oh, you have seen nothing yet. You're in the
No,
second
we are only
chapter.
2 episodes.
Wait, just wait.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Some of that stuff is pretty gruesome. Yep. And here's the club boy. I like to call him the club king. This is the ultimate DJ. Yeah.
Xerxes was under a lot of pressure because his father conquered so many countries, but he just failed with Greece. He got defeated at Marathon, so it was Xerxes' mission to go conquer Greece.
Yeah, and
because his father
he was
couldn't.
defeated 10 years prior to this one. And yes, they conquered this for a while, like a year, and then they were sent back in.
Yeah. Greece was always a sore spot for the Persians.
Oh.
But I really
Oh
don't
man,
like
this
the way they make
scene.
him look.
I think here's when. Oh no, not yet. Oh man, they are grenade carpeting that shit,
Yeah.
and they call it magic.
Yes, magic. So, what was this? Has to be one of the earliest uses of gunpowder, huh? It's got to be, huh, Gary?
If they really did it,
If they really did,
which I
use
don't think. I think this is completely fictitious.
Well, there was different forms of explosives used because dragon's breath was something that was real. That wasn't from the Far East, but gunpowder was discovered in the Far East.
China, yeah.
But the fact is, this is the area that this is taking place in is what do you refer to it as? Near Asia, I think they refer to it as. It's near Asia, right? It's part of the Asian continent.
Okay.
So there's a possibility they've had exposure to the Chinese at this point.
Everything west and south
Mainland
of
China.
Europe gets muddy for me. So geographically, I'm kind of inept when it comes to that. So I got Europe down. It's the rest of it that the Russian satellites and all that stuff and it bleeding into the Middle East that I have a hard time with.
Look at that scene, man.
Yeah. Didn't this?
Oh, here's when
This is heartbreaking.
Yeah, he's not even ready for it either. And boy, talk about grief fighting. This is one of the greatest scenes of grief fighting ever, dude. He takes some people out right here.
Yeah.
He gets pissed. Oh my gosh. Yeah. He just starts wading into people.
Hey, Read by Nature's in the house.
Hi, Reed.
James.
Hey, Reed.
Ancient Chinese secret. Yep. There you go. No songs are sung.
And Shenatsky's in the house. Oh, I have to do this.
Shindatsky. The ultimate troll has arrived. Oh, and here we got the traitor being seduced. Right?
Not that he needed too much seduction.
No. They didn't have
He
to
should
throw
have-
all this at him, no doubt.
He should have understood why he wasn't, why Leonidas couldn't use him, because he couldn't raise his shield high enough.
Yeah.
The fact that he's losing it over that is like, dude, he explained it to you. He would have used you.
That's
if he
what I
could.
was thinking too. I always thought that this character's motivation was about the weakest of all of them, really. I mean,
Yeah. In the 1962 movie, he was a farmer. And in the historical records, he was a goat herder.
Goat herder. Nice.
Yes, I never was about the honor of his family. No, it was always about the money.
Right. It's always about the money. Here we go. Here's the back home politics right here.
What I really liked was that his name, Ephialtes, became the word for nightmare in Greek.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, and
This
it's
guy
used-
here, the politician?
No, not
No,
the
no,
politician.
Field is the hunch.
Oh, okay.
Ephialtes.
I got you.
The traitor.
The hunchback? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's used like a term for Judas. Well, equivalent to our Judas. And if you utter that name to somebody else, you might get killed.
Really? Wow.
In present day, it's one of the worst insults that you can say in Greece.
So somehow his curse, "May you live forever," came true, because he's alive as
Yeah.
a nightmare to this day.
You know, the Greeks put a bounty on his head, and he was
yeah.
killed. And he was
stabbed
killed.
to death. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was killed by for another reason. It was he had a fight with someone, and he was killed, and even the person that killed him didn't know he was a Ephialtes. He received the reward. They still pay the reward. I didn't know who he was. No, don't matter. Take this money.
Oh, I thought they
You
recognized
earned
him and stabbed him to death because he tried to flee to get away because he was ashamed.
Oh no, he fled away for many
Yeah.
years.
This guy that plays
they
the
eventually
politician,
found
man,
him.
Dominic
Oh,
West.
God.
He's I like him a lot. I've liked a lot of his stuff, and he plays.
I'm the opposite. I
ultimate
can't
bastard.
stand the guy because he always looks like a bad guy.
Yeah, I mean, he is a bad guy,
Mm.
right?
Well, it's not his fault. It's his face. What can
It's
he
the
do
look,
about
man.
it?
It's the look. It works. And oh man, he's a total ass in this part right here. Oh my god, yeah. But
Well,
some
he
would
gets what he
argue
deserves
that's
eventually.
75% of the politicians out there is this guy,
Yeah.
manipulating things.
Only 75? I don't know.
I don't know. There's some decent ones out there. Not many.
No, the other 25% are in progress to become that part of that 75%.
Or bailing on the whole system. There's those too. I know the person I was pushing in the last election was a veteran that I was hoping to see get in there, but she wouldn't take political money, and she's out of politics completely now. So watched her interview with Joe Rogan. She said the day of orientation, they told her, do not make any deals with the right at all, ever. Told her that on her orientation day. Do not work with them.
They are not there to work for the people.
Right? That's what they're supposed to be sent there for.
They are not there for that.
Yeah, he's pumping up the troops because he knows this is the day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oof.
Now,
But
one of
I'm
the things that was
almost
said in the
naked.
production of the film was that they stated that they airbrushed the abs, but the fact is they still expected you to have abs. They just wanted to heighten the shadow on them by airbrushing them.
Right.
And it's a misnomer when people, well, they just airbrushed the abs on. No, they didn't. They didn't grab a
No,
fat
all
guy.
these guys are in
and
pretty
paint.
good shape.
They didn't grab a fat guy
Mhm.
and paint fucking abs on him.
No.
They
That's
put
not
them
what
through
was
hard
done here.
training.
It was there
Yes.
for the fucking shadow because he knew how he wanted this to look.
Mm-hmm.
So
In fact,
people when they talk about this film just annoy me when they talk about that.
In fact, a regime of training was developed for this movie to get them in shape fast.
Yeah.
I think 8 weeks of really hard boot camp.
Mhm.
We're at the 1 hour mark, guys.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let me stop everything. And we'll see you after the ad.
And this
Meet the Seattle Vigilante. Like so many comic heroes, this warrior hides his identity. But his identity isn't the only secret he has to keep. After grievous wounds received during combat, Tier 1 operator John Russell begins to recover and comes to terms with his new reality of being an amputee. And as he learns how to use his new prosthetic limb, he finds himself caught up in the bureaucratic red tape that too many wounded veterans experience, the exhausting medboard process. Out of sheer frustration, John takes it out on the criminal scum of the city. But when reality kicks in, John realizes he started something that's having an impact on the greater world around him, and thus has to reevaluate his motives. And moreover, just how far is John willing to go to finish this war he's declared against the criminals in Seattle? And will he even survive? From the creator of IDW's award-winning graphic novel Code Word Geronimo comes a new story about a different kind of warrior, Vindicated Inc., the first of its kind disabled veteran action hero comic. The Vindicated Inc. graphic novel crowdfunding campaign on fundmycomic.com is provided in the description of this video. We hope you become a contributor. Please share this link. Thank you.
all right.
Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you.
That's all right.
Sorry about that.
No, I was just gonna say, like, Bush just like wrote me a bunch about the VA. I'm like, don't talk to me about the VA. I don't fucking care about the VA. I don't use them. I wouldn't use them. I think the VA is just a wreck of an organization. It's failed. I don't blame the people that work for the VA. I blame the people who run the VA.
Mm-hmm.
The bureaucracy. It's an ugly organization. It doesn't do its job. And that's why I tell people, you keep wanting socialized medicine? Well, here's a microcosm of what socialized medicine is. The VA system doesn't work. That's a microcosm, and it doesn't work.
No doubt. All you have to do is look at that. You'll see what socialized medicine looks like. Whole lot of waiting in the breadline.
Yep. The wait period is what kills so many soldiers. That's why you see so many self-tap, because they just feel hopeless.
It's a shame. We should treat our vets better. Really should. The fact that they have to hire advocates just to get their benefits, it's really a shame. If you've ever seen somebody go through that process, it's not fun.
That is really not the case, and I don't know what Zack Snyder was talking about, Shanatsky. There was rampant homosexuality within the ranks of the Greek military as well as Sparta. I'm not sure what that was about, but it wasn't with kids. The kids came into play during what was referred to as the Children's Crusade. There was a lot of children taken along in the Crusades, and there was apparent rampant buggery going on with that. And that was with the British troops. And I don't recall reading anything about that with Spartans. Spartans had each other. They had each other's backs.
This guy
Yeah.
totally screws her, by the way. He gets
And you
what he
know, by
wants
the
and-
way,
yeah.
oh yeah, after doing what he did, then he screws her again.
Then he screws
But
her again right in front of everybody.
that's okay. He gets his comeuppance here
Yes,
in a
he
moment.
does.
Yes.
This
It's
was
so
Here's
was
my
satisfying.
favorite joke. Why did the Greek never leave home?
oh my
Because
god.
he was afraid to leave his little brothers behind.
Ooh,
Ah,
whoa, intense.
They
Yeah.
have a notorious history with the ranks of the military with the Greek armies. Buggery. You know, so there you go. And they have like there are plates and things that depict Greek warriors in Flectato, you know.
Oh yeah, man, dude. Have you ever seen the Birdcage with Robin Williams? The chime
yeah.
he has?
Yeah. Yeah. What are they doing on there?
I see a girl.
Anima
Don't you
watched
see a
that with
girl in
me,
there?
by the way. Anima
Yes.
did watch that with me, and she loved it.
Oh my God,
great
So
movie.
anyway, right there, he gets his comeuppance, and when she cuts him with the blade,
and
she
says
slices the
exactly
bag.
what. Yes, this will not
She
end quickly.
slices the bag of coins that he got paid to betray her.
Yes,
And
with
it's
Xerxes'
all
head on it.
Xerxes
Yep,
coins.
too awesome.
And she says the exact same words that he said to her before
Yes,
he did what he did. And I just like it.
makes
so
him eat
much.
his own words on his way to the grave. Nice, very cool.
Will not enjoy it. I know I like that line, Bush. It's a great line. And she repeats back to him what he said to her. And it has a more violent meaning.
Yes, no doubt.
Hey, Gap.
Gap
And
after
with a
dark.
breach,
Oh man, Breach, dude, come on.
Go for it.
Okay. Dude.
get them on this
But
video.
anyway,
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Okay,
Here
go.
we go.
Cowboy, check around and see if there's a back door.
I'm sorry, my
Oh.
niece New Eve just messaged me, so I had to go read what she had to say. So, but anyway, what I was going to tell you is, I don't understand what Zack Snyder was on about. Shinaski, I did not see that. You need to find that for me because I will mock that because that is not something that was rampant with. And I'm not telling you it didn't happen. I'm just saying it was not something they were known for. What they were known for was having each other's backs.
And
Again.
grooming each other before the battle because
It's-
they
it's
were ready
Zack
to die
Snyder.
and they needed to look good.
Yeah,
It's
it's like
Snyder.
it was like a girls' party, sleepover. They were doing each other's hair.
Yeah, beard. Beard too, because that was important. They would shave their upper lip, but let their beard
Grooming.
grow on the lower part of the face.
Dude, hear me
Yeah,
out.
being shaved.
He puts in the movie a line that came out of the comic book in which Leonidas refers to the Athenians as with contempt as boy lovers.
Yes.
That idiot cannot understand that he's implying that the Spartans do not abide to that practice. And then he goes in an interview and said that shit.
It's just look, Zach's a bit of an idiot. We know he's an idiot.
Yes.
Yeah, moron. I mean,
The stuff he did for Netflix, garbage. I couldn't stand any of it.
I was looking forward to his zombie thing because
Yes.
Dawn of the Dead, the remake, was really good. I enjoyed that one, but man, this thing, Army of the Dead that he made, oh my God, it was horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
movie
And
was
by the way,
bad.
the Greek joke goes back years. No, I was a little kid when I first heard that joke. We were like I think I was in 5th or 6th grade when I heard that joke. Leave his little brothers behind. But it started out as that. Given this film, I get it. You're gay, Zach. Zach's a wreck of a human being. He really is. He's done 2 great films and 1 good film, and I just don't care too much for the rest. Number 1, this movie. Number
Yes.
2, Watchmen. And number 3, I don't care what other people say. Don't fucking care. I like Sucker Punch.
Sucker
Nobody's
Punch I like
perfect.
too. Yeah, I thought it was cool.
Nobody's perfect.
Yeah. I like Sucker Punch too. I don't know why anybody give you grief about that.
Oh,
It's
Martin
decent.
doesn't
It's
like
not
it.
the greatest movie in the world, but it's
No,
good.
no. I don't give you grief about that. I just simply don't like it.
No, he didn't give me
However-
grief. He just said, "I don't like that film. It's
Yeah.
terrible writing." And I'm like, I didn't care about the writing on that one. What I
Yeah,
cared about was the story. It had a good story.
it has some eye candy, some very good eye candy, and the Oscar Isaac.
You're making
character
my argument
is-
for me. Stop talking.
Baby
Yeah,
Doll's
tell
one of
you
the
what
most
to do,
cosplayed
Here we are
characters ever too.
in the final throws here. It's like Xerxes trying to win him over. His helmet is too heavy. His shield is too heavy. I
Yeah.
love this description in this narration here. And then he drops his spear and he bends both knees, bowing to him. And what comes next is amazing because this is, once again, this is Fassbender's character, as I recall. It goes over him with the spear.
Yeah.
Ew, Bush. Don't do that.
I love how he teased him though and said, my knee, it's kind of
Yeah,
tricky.
Hey, Jeebus is here.
Monkey G,
I'm sorry, Monkey Jeebus. I wanted your head in this film, but Martin was not up to the challenge, and he just edited out all the titties. So we got no Monkey Jeebus in this film. I was very heartbroken. This
Now, if
morning
you
when
were
I found
editing
out.
out male titties, he'd be all over this damn film. So,
Oh yeah,
But for whatever
every
weird
single
reason,
angle in this looks
Americans-
like the graphic novel.
yeah,
I love
Americans
that.
are only scared by female nipples, not by male.
Now, of course, this didn't happen in the battle. They didn't make Xerxes bleed, proving that he wasn't a god. But it's a neat little device used in the story.
Yeah.
But it is not what happened. What the 300 proved is that 300 could defeat thousands. And
you're absolutely correct, Boosh. She is a babe,
yes.
no doubt.
Yeah.
oh, Lena Headey, yeah. And there's an A in there, in the Headey.
And another
It's like-
E.
It's
Between
like a
the
good
D-
head with a Y at the end. It's such
Oh
good
my
head.
god.
It gets a Y. It's very heady.
Why? Why?
Because he can, Martin.
Because
Because
I
he
can.
can.
That's
No.
why.
Why I'm still here?
Oh, man.
That's
But
not
I ask myself
you're
in
just-
every show.
saying I'm correct. So shut up, Boosh. Jesus Christ. I love you, buddy. It wasn't in this fucking battle. I'm sure he bled in other battles. My God. He was in a lot of battles.
Yeah, maybe he had
This didn't
hemorrhoids. You never
happen.
know.
Ariel, what's up?
Gap gets it.
Yes. Yes. That
There
is
you
the
go.
correct spelling.
Fuck you,
Jeez,
Boosh.
someone is treating names with respect here.
Shinatsky, man, you're dynamite, bro.
Yes, this is true. This is so true.
That's
Zack
awesome.
Snyder exists to stay in the closet.
In the closet. That's it. I love it. That's great.
Yeah. Oh my
Like
God. I
once
like
a month.
monkeys comedy, please, once a month. I love when South Park did the lesbian episode and Xerxes was there. They
Oh,
brought
my God.
Xerxes in. Did you guys see that?
No.
That's where they
That's
brought
not
in
the one
scissoring.
where he's talking about munching
Oh my
carpet
God, we're
all the time.
scissoring. Oh my God.
That's not the one where they're talking about munching carpet and stuff, is it?
Yeah,
Oh God, yeah.
It's scissoring.
I've seen that one. That's
it's
crazy.
a scissoring episode.
Oh my
And
God.
here we see the death of Leonidas. He is just riddled with arrows, as they all are.
Yeah.
And by the way, the helmets don't match what they would have wore that day. They match the graphic novel comic.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a
And it's
whole
not a
lot of
graphic novel.
historical
Did I
inequities
read
here.
correctly that it was released as comics before graphic novel?
I don't know.
I didn't know that.
I don't know.
Yes, they were released as floppies.
So they did. So it's a trade paperback, not a graphic novel. All
wow. Right. Okay. So that gives me something to look for at the comic book store when I go. Cool. What label was that released under?
Wasn't it Dark Horse?
Was it
Dark Horse? Yes, it was Dark Horse.
Okay. I'll have to look.
I remember buying the book.
I was fixing to say I bought the book. I didn't know it was trade.
And it was done in such a cool way. It was done as a tabletop book, so it was wider than it was tall. And I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and she knows.
Yeah, she knows. She knew he wasn't coming back to begin with. She knew it. But it's interesting what you say about this guy. That he, I completely believe that he was.
Helios. Come on, Gerry, do your thing.
Helios.
And feel for his life when he got back. Yeah, I mean, they expected him to stand there and die. You know, shit. And just like earlier in the movie,
the reason why he sent the hair back to her with the tooth was to show her that he was dead. He knew he was dead. He didn't want to die with it, and he wanted her to have it back.
He knew he was good to make it. Yeah.
And now this character again is an amalgamation character. And by the way, he did not lead. The real guy did not lead the battle like they show in the film. No. That was Pausanias was the leader of the Spartan army that led them into the second battle a year later against Xerxes. Eventually, Xerxes got the idea. We're not going to fight the Spartans anymore. We're giving up on Greece. You're a free country.
Yeah,
we're going to stop fucking with you white people. You're crazy.
We're gonna stop messing with you. Yep, dude. This final
Mediterranean Caucasians,
awesome. You look at all the great speeches in movies, and this one always comes up. If you search great speeches in movies, and you'll always see this one. You'll see the one from Braveheart. You'll see the one from what was the one that Chaplin did? Where it was like a send up of the Yahtzees. He was a Hitler type character. I can't remember exactly, but he's got a speech at the end of that flick that's pretty good. And
Now the other guy that was stricken with an eye infection was Eurytus, and he stayed and died in the Battle of the 300, while the other gentleman, Astrodemus, went back.
Did I hear Uranus was destroyed? What?
Yeah, Uranus. Uranus was wrecked, completely wrecked. Nothing was left of it.
Oh my God. Once again, I'm so glad my mom doesn't speak English.
Dark Asylum. What is Dark Asylum?
What are you talking about, Bush?
Oh, he's looking for
Arkham Asylum. Okay. Xerxes was you guys too gay to fuck with. I'm gonna go home and make all the women wear hoodie pajamas about. Yeah, Garyist, backdoorist. That's the most clever one today, right there. I like that one. Good one. For that, you get. Let me see what I'm going to get here. Here we go. Of course, you can't read the subtitles. I don't know why it does that. No, I just don't understand why that blocks it. It should automatically default to move the video upward.
Show the video again.
And just for shits and giggles, one more.
Car just pulled up to the back door.
Yeah.
I was that amused by the comment that you got 2 videos out of that one.
And there you go.
And that'll learn you.
Love the Wild Geese, by the way. One of my favorite movies ever.
Wild Geese. I'm glad we did that film.
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Great.
What do we have anything set up for next week, hon?
Yes, Gallipoli.
Gallipoli.
Yep.
Okay.
Requested by Tim, I think.
Mel Gibson.
Yep.
I saw that movie. I was a teenager, and I was living with Charlie Bruce. You know, my buddy Charlie, and I got to message him today because I don't think I responded to his last message. And it was one of the films he had, and I popped it into the video player, the old dinosaur style, top loading.
Yes.
VCR. He had one of those.
The tank.
And I put it in, man.
Yes.
And I watched that, and I was weeping by the end of that film. I hadn't even served in the military yet, man. I was a kid. I love that movie, man.
I have never seen it. I'll have to do my homework and watch it before then.
Yeah,
There are
me too.
2 versions of it. The one we're doing is the one with Mel Gibson.
Okay.
The prequel to Mad Max, in which Mel Gibson played his
this is what led to Mad Max.
grandfather.
Okay. Cool.
Yep. And the toe cutter.
Yeah. Oh, I have these images there. That is the statue of Leonidas. The first inscription, just below his feet, says Molon Labe, who is the line, "Come and get them." And in the base of the podium says, let me find it, the translation. Jesus Christ. Go tell the Spartan, stranger passing by, that here obedient to their laws we lie. That's the last line that Leonidas says before dying. And that is Leonidas. And you can see in the movie they wore more armor because he's using only the helmet.
Yeah, I was going to say. He's going full commando there. Yes,
Yep.
absolutely.
Yeah,
But that reminds me, because of that great saying, that great quote. There's a film with Burt Lancaster, a Vietnam War film, as I recall, called "Go Tell the Spartans."
Yes.
That I'm planning on us watching too for Military Monday.
Cool.
Okay, and this, I think that was the
Can you zoom in on it?
map, the map of the shoreline by the time of I think it was 480 BC. And in here are oral. This is the present coastline. So you can see how had receded from here to here, and at some point the line even got to here. After it has had bouncing in the mainland. And
Now you see that one peninsula there that's jutting out there.
No, this is not a
No,
peninsula.
you
This
see
is a
the
gulf. All this is a gulf.
there was a jetty peninsula at the time that is where the bridge of boats went across. There were so many boats that it went the length of the Gulf, and that's what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, I think that they leave that out in this map. And this is how it looks present day. When you see the coastline should be here, but not only the water line has receded, the ground has been receiving sediments, and the original level is 20 meters down. And
So
here
the cliffside is
you can
gone.
see, yes, and you can see the path. As you can see, it's not as narrow as depicted in the movie, but it's a narrow path.
Now, I do also plan to do eventually the 300 Spartans. Film,
Nice.
made in 1962. It's a great film. It really is. Sir Ralph Richardson's in it. It's just a really well done film. It's a little more romantic because it was shot in the 60s, but it's fairly, I would say it's a lot more accurate historically to what actually took place. And again, yes, you're right. They show a farmer betraying them and showing the Persians where the path was to get him behind him.
Okay. This is what remains of the
Because that's what they wanted
waters.
to do. They wanted to get in behind the Spartans.
Oh. This is what remains of the thermal waters that
It's
gives
a back
the
door.
location
Stop.
their
I
name.
get it.
God damn it. And okay, we have a comparison of how the shoreline has changed.
Yep. Now, if you look down there, the red line, where it reaches its highest peak, that is where the bridge of boats started.
Oh my God, I'm confused with my cursor.
Why?
Because isn't
computers confuse him and confound him?
Oh,
they're
I
magical.
You really want.
My coffee is so good. So what do we got going on in the chat? Question: why is a goat playing a sitar? Joe, it's accurate. So the Spartans' weakness was their behind. Yes. That's what my joke. That was what I was trying to say. Yes. Because once they got in behind them, came in through the back door, the Spartans were finished. There's that one goat. What is that movie called again, Joe? You brought it up earlier. The parody to this movie.
Oh, Meet the Spartan.
Meet the Spartans.
Meet the Spartans.
Yeah, it was a take.
I watched it and I was so like,
yeah.
oh, I didn't laugh at hardly anything in that film. It just annoyed
stupid.
me.
Yeah.
Well, they just don't know how to make parody films.
They don't. Anymore. The airplane movie is rare.
Abrams and Zucker, man, they were masters of the game. They started with Kentucky Fried Movie, and it went through. And then by the time they got to the scary movies, the first film was kind of funny, but I had a problem with it in the fact that Scream is a parody of.
It's a parody of horror movies. Yeah.
Of slasher films.
Yeah.
It was intentionally done as a parody. There's humor in it for a reason.
Yes. I mean, one of the characters even breaks down all the rules of a friggin' slasher film.
Exactly.
I mean, it's great.
And so you made a parody of a parody. So I was just automatically
right.
And then the Zucker and Abrams took over the franchise, and they lost their zing.
The hits are rare. I mean, the Wayans brothers did a good blaxploitation one. I'm Gonna Get You Sucker was good.
I'm Gonna Get You Sucker was really, in my opinion, the last good film parody.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was great.
And I do love that film.
Yeah.
He died of OG, Overgold.
I mean, Keith uses a scene from it all the time at the beginning of his show.
I made that for him.
Yeah, it's awesome. Every good hero should have theme music.
I had to change the theme because we would get
did.
copyright struck, so I put in another song. But it's still fucking cool. I love that intro I created for him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I need to create a cool intro for me, but I don't care about me. I just care about other people. So I make cool shit for other people.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Never worked. Well, I don't think the first one really worked because again, they're making a parody of a parody.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a hat on a hat.
You know.
Would you wear a hat on top of your hat?
No.
No. Unless you're an idiot.
Unless you're a moron.
I don't think Tropic Thunder was funny.
Really?
I enjoy the film. I don't think it's funny. I think I did laugh at one thing. When the director gets killed.
Yeah, and that was hilarious, man.
They thought it was part of the movie. Yeah. It's part of the movie, right? That was fucking funny to me.
It was funny.
But I'm amused by the film. I didn't laugh. I don't find anything from that one moment funny in that film.
Really?
Not one.
Hmm.
Nothing.
I thought it was funny.
I said like
Dude,
this.
the trailers alone were funny to me at the beginning
is
of it,
like-
introducing all the characters. Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, Family Guy is a parody of family shows. And I
Right.
used to find it funny. This is me watching it now.
Yeah. I never got into that show. Never did.
Me neither. I never found it funny.
I'd rather watch South Park. South Park is they make fun of everything.
No.
They leave no stone unturned. It's fantastic. Yep.
Well, I won't agree with you on this, Shinatsky. I think the first Scream movie was a good film. I thought it was self-aware, and that is what made it funny to me. I like that movie.
Yeah.
Because of that. After that, I could care less about the Scream films. I'm not
I haven't
really into
watched
sequels.
anything since that one.
Most sequels to me are garbage. Very rarely do you get a really good sequel. In fact, very rarely, even less, often you get a sequel that outdoes the original. Which is
the
Empire
Godfather
Strikes Back.
2s are rare.
Godfather 2,
Extremely rare.
Empire Strikes Back.
Mhm.
What was the other one?
Some would
I thought you
argue
said another
that the Two Towers is one that was better than the original. I don't think so. I think Fellowship's the best one of the series, but
I do
a
too.
lot of
I
people
like
love that
Fellowship.
movie. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Fellowship.
I'm a huge fan of Fellowship. I love that.
I'm glad there was no sequel to I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. That movie didn't need a sequel. That's
No,
why
it didn't.
as a
They
parody,
tried
it
again
works.
with don't be a menace to society while drinking.
that was so
juice
dumb.
in the hood. It was stupid, man. Yeah, it was dumb.
I also
The
didn't like
title
that
alone
one.
tells you it was dumb.
I didn't like that parody film that was made about the guy that would pull his belt off and smack people with it.
Booty Tang.
Pootie Tang.
Booty Tang.
Just dumb.
I use that all the time in that show with me and my brother because that's what we call Putin. Pootie Tang.
Yep.
Every time we talk about Putin,
there
I
you go.
throw that in there.
T2 outdid the first film. I
Yes.
think it's a
Yeah.
better film.
There you go. There you go.
Aliens. I will say that it is an outstanding sequel. I don't think it's better than the first film.
I think you're comparing
it's a
apples and
different film.
oranges when you talk
Yeah,
about
it's a
those two
different
movies.
film completely. It's
Mhm.
the first film was a horror film. The second film was an action
movie. Yeah.
war film.
Mhm.
That uses many of the versions of the creature from the first film.
Mhm. Now,
Um,
yes, T2 is a better movie than the first one, but kind of like Star Wars having that epic scroll at the beginning of it, I love the scroll at the beginning of Terminator. I think it is
Yep.
so awesome, saying that the future of humanity would be decided tonight. You know, I love it.
That's
dude.
right.
That's so
I love that theme too, man.
Oh, we
The
used
guy
to
who
make
wrote
fun
the
of it all the
theme
time
that
when I
wrote
was
the score to Fright Night.
yeah.
Now, there's a film that was the sequel was not very good.
Yeah, but
I
the
enjoy
first
it,
one
it
is
is-
epic.
the
man.
first one's better.
Epic. Chris Sarandon is awesome in that movie. You know, I talked about this not too long ago with some folks. Chris Sarandon, when I went and saw him at a local Comic-Con here a few years back, I've got his signature on the wall over here from Dog Day Afternoon, the first film he was ever in, and he got an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for it. The guy was on Broadway for a long time before he even got into movies. And, but he's got fans across like 3 different generations. I mean, he was in Dog Day Afternoon. That's what the first movie I remember him from. Then you've got that Fright Night from the 80s. And my daughter loves him because he's the voice of Jack in The Nightmare Before Christmas.
He's also he's Prince Humperdinck.
Yes, he's
in,
Prince Humperdinck. I
Princess
mean,
Bride.
that guy is littered
Let's
all over the
not
place.
forget, he is also in another horror franchise called Child's Play.
Yeah.
He's in the first one. He's the cop.
Yep. He must have been doing something right because, you know, his ex-wife kept his name. He must have been doing something right.
She wants those damn checks.
She wants some damn checks. Is what it is.
Give me that damn check. Yeah, Chris Sarandon, just a great actor.
Yeah, he is.
I didn't like the remake, but I
Mhm.
was happy to see that he's the driver in the car that gets
Yeah.
attacked.
I didn't even watch the remake. He has a cameo in it, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's driving a car on. I did not like it. They ruined the character of Peter Vincent.
Really?
He's a magician now. Like
oh
Chris,
no,
like Chris, what's his name? It was stupid. It was
Oh.
dumb. It didn't work. Like, why would he have any knowledge of vampires? You know,
Yeah.
that's witchcraft, magic. What are you fucking talking about?
Mhm.
In the original film, he's a horror actor who becomes a horror movie host.
Right,
so
right. And it's
he's
a callback.
chock full of
You guys
knowledge
probably
of
don't know
vampires.
this, but it's
Yeah.
a callback to local horror shows that came on late at night. I mean,
And his name comes from two famous actors.
Right. Yeah. Peter
Peter.
Sellers, or not Peter Sellers, but Peter Cushing. Peter Cushing.
There you go.
And yeah, and Vincent Price.
And
yeah.
Vincent Price.
Mhm. But
They did that in another film too. In the film, the remake of where they go into the hospital and they have to stay there overnight to win money. Not 13 Ghosts, it's the other one. The House on Haunted Hill, is that it?
May not
The
have
House
seen
on Haunted Hill? I think that's it. Something like that. Anyway, the main character, let me see if I can find that one.
Boss Bush wants you to read this.
BRB?
This is a movie. Yes, this is it. House on Haunted Hill was a remake of the classic Vincent Price film. And in the film, Jeffrey Rush plays Stephen Price as a nod to Vincent Price.
I would not try to read that, Gary. We don't want you to have a stroke.
I'm not going to do that. I don't know if that's a hard G or a soft G. I don't know what that says today. What is it? Does anybody know what it is? I don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I'm not
I
even
think
going to
it's
give that a
just
try.
trolling you.
But anyway, so Jeffrey Rush plays Stephen Price in that film. And I actually really enjoyed the remake. I thought it was really good. I didn't think it was anywhere near as much fun as the original film with Vincent Price. But that one was pretty daring. And of course, it was produced by the son, Castle Films. Because I don't know if you knew that Castle Films was owned by, what is his name? The original film. 1959. And it was directed by William Castle, and his son took over the production company and has made a lot of horror film remakes of his stuff, as well as the film Ghost Ship. Remember that movie?
Yep.
I like that movie. That's not a remake. That was a straight up original film. His son fucking produced it. Good stuff, man. I'm a big fan of William Castle. Like, he has a one that I still want to show Anima one day. It's his comedy. He made a fucking haunted house comedy back in the 60s. I'm trying to find it here. There it is. The Spirit is Willing. Classic movie. Great cast. Share screen. I couldn't believe the cast he got for this, because he was a notorious penny pincher. You know, the Spirit is Willing. He has Sid Caesar, Vera Miles, Barry Gordon, John MacGyver. Let's see, there's even more. Jesse White's in it. Robert Donner's in it. You don't remember him, but he's best known for the religious dude from Mork and Mindy. That
Exeter.
Exeter, thank you. Let's see. My gosh. John Astin is in it. And Harvey Lembeck. Oh my God. This guy was in so many beach comedies when I was a kid. Harvey Lembeck. He was always the motorcycle gang member. You guys remember him at all?
Nope.
Oh
Lembeck,
my God.
no.
He was great, man. Dude,
you've seen a lot more movies from the 50s and 60s than I have.
Over 10,000 films in my life I've seen.
My knowledge of film starts in the 70s. I mean, I just didn't watch much before then. except for like franchises I dug, like the James Bond films. I've seen all of those, you know. Which
I already said it, Ariel. You missed it.
Yeah, you missed it.
I brought that up.
Princess
I absolutely said with Chris Sarandon.
She's calling us Philistines about it too.
He played Prince Humperdink.
No. Ariel Ballet is saying that incomprehensible thing that this is
okay.
from
Gotcha.
Princess Bride.
Gotcha.
I still don't recognize it spelled out. I just don't.
I
haven't seen that movie in 20 years.
Dime store. What's his name? The guy that barely makes movies, but when he does, he's always nominated for an Academy Award. Daniel Day-Lewis. I call him Dime Store Daniel Day-Lewis because everything I've seen of his I love, but he doesn't make movies very often.
I think he retired.
He did.
Oh, he is retired now.
He said he retired, but we'll see. And so the right script comes along.
Right.
But my problem with him is, look, I've got
the right amount of money
with method actors. I really do. I get using a little bit of the method here and there to find the emotion, the core of a character, but you don't have to do it for every aspect to where you have to stay in character.
Yeah,
that's just fucking weird.
That seems narcissistic to me. It really does.
It's in the mental illness department,
right?
Especially when it's impacting other actors.
Yes.
I don't think Jack ever did that.
It's not just the other actors; it's members of the crew. Jim Carrey, the stories that you hear about what he did on that, and what pissed a lot of people off that knew the real. I forgot his name.
I know who you're talking about. The comedian Andy Kaufman. Yeah,
Andy Kaufman said that he was embodying a character that Andy Kaufman played. He wasn't embodying Andy Kaufman. Because Andy Kaufman wouldn't have behaved that way.
Right.
And one of my favorite moments with Andy Kaufman was on Fridays, if you remember that.
Yeah, I remember Fridays. It was ABC's attempt to do Saturday Night Live.
Saturday Night Live on Fridays.
That's the first place I saw Kramer before
Michael
Seinfeld.
Richardson was on that show. He was really the star of that show.
He was.
And he was in on the prank when they and they show it in the film, Man on the Moon. They show that clip, but they reenact it. But in reality, you can find that on YouTube. And Michael Richardson was in on the prank. He was in on the joke. And Michael I always love that, man.
It's a shame.
I enjoyed Fridays,
man. Oh, because that guy was funny. Good Lord, he's funny.
Oh, well, he's back. Seinfeld. Yeah, Seinfeld's bringing him back. It's like, I'm not going to judge a guy off of one incident.
Yeah, I mean, it was one incident, but he did blow a gaff.
40-year career, he has one gaff, and you're going to judge him the rest of his life off of that?
Yeah, one bad night.
Like, he hates cancel culture, and I do too.
Right.
I hate it. I don't care what side of the fucking spectrum you're on. Cancel culture is bad. If you were trying to cancel people, I don't care if you agree with them or not. It's one thing if they've committed a crime.
Right.
Okay. Like people who are pro pedo, yeah, they need to be stopped.
Right.
I don't call that cancellation. They just need to be stopped.
Right.
But when it comes to people because you don't like their politics and you want to cancel them because they're liberal or conservative and you go to cancel somebody, you're the asshole in the situation.
You are the asshole. Yes. Gino Carano has proved that over and over again. Yep. You are the dirtbags. I am not.
Oh, he said an awful word, a word that I don't like.
N-bombs were flying that night, no doubt.
I've asked my black friends not to even use the word around me. I'm like, that really makes me uncomfortable. I don't like that word. I was raised by my dad, might be a shitheel in so many ways, but he raised me right when it came to racism.
That's it.
Leto sent Script Doctor and company, God know what, they threw it away because he had sent messed up junk to the other departments. Yeah, Jared Leto. I don't like Jared Leto. He's what I would refer to as an ephebophile. He likes post-pubescent teen girls.
Really?
That aren't.
He's also way overrated, in my opinion.
He's
always been a middle of the road.
He's got weird fucking eyes.
Dangerous guy to me, you know.
Well, he's got creepy fucking eyes. There's something wrong with his fucking deep.
Well, he's got the crimson chin. Now he does have that, bro. Oh, Jared
Okay,
Leto.
Tree Rock.
I thought I was thinking Leno. God, I'm an idiot. Yeah, he is kind of weird. That guy is strange. No doubt.
I like Leno. It just I like Jay Leno.
Yeah. But Leto,
I don't think he's funny.
He went to high school here in Shreveport.
In your house?
No, in Shreveport.
Oh,
actually, the other side of the river from me. So, yeah.
So almost here.
Almost here. Yeah. It's Twin Cities kind of thing. You know.
How effing fragile can someone be that one word destroys their professionalism and they say slurs all the time? Yeah, man. It's in popular fucking music.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, yeah. It's infested with it in rap culture. Good Lord, come on.
Nobody owns a word.
No.
Nobody. And if somebody tells me they own a word, I'll argue with them all day long. You don't get to own a word, ever.
Mm-mm.
You should have hated ninjas instead. Yeah, the other N word. Ninjas. Oh my God.
That
I remember. Was it
that part of the American culture still baffles me? How you can lose your shit by a word?
Yeah, I got to tell you, man. There was a news special. I think it was 60 Minutes. It's one of those programs like 60 Minutes. It might have been 48 Hours. I don't know, but I think it was 60 Minutes that they talked about Tourette's for the first time.
Oh wow!
And they had a person on there, and this person used the N word. They would see somebody of color and they would blurt that word out. And then they learned to redirect by changing it to nickel, 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 nickel. And they would just say nickel, 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 nickel all over. And it was crazy. Tourette's scared the hell out of me as a kid. I'm like, can I get that? I don't want that.
My daughter used to tell, because I'm a very competitive gamer, and my daughter used to tell her friends when they were over in high school that I had Tourette's when I was playing Madden.
Now, my daughter just simply warned her friends, my dad is a jerk. He's going to say things to you. He doesn't mean any of it. Don't take it personally when he says things to you. And I would just say mean things to her friends. Like, I think one time there was this one kid walked in, said, Jeremy, are you the one that dresses like a girl? He's like, what? No. And she's like, I told you, ignore my dad. Ignore my dad.
Don't listen to him.
Sound advice.
He's trying to get.
What do you think about this?
I think there's a few people that could have played him, but Steve Carell's talented. I like pretty much everything he does. So,
look, I like the film Man on the Moon. I'm not a fan of Jim Carrey's. I think he's nuts. I mean it. I think he's mentally ill. Clearly, and he's admitted to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I dislike the people that support him saying the shit he does, because what you're doing is, you're enforcing the mental illness rather than trying to force him to get help.
Yeah.
And I dislike that.
Yeah.
I really do.
He's
expressing himself in the wrong way.
Mm-hmm. He's talented, but yeah, I believe he's one of those guys that rides that line between genius and insanity. So
this girl is a YouTuber, Sweet Anna or Sweet Anita, but
yeah, remember,
she has Tourette. It's not her fault.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
how's your head, buddy?
Is she British? That could explain a lot.
Afternoon. I love tuning into rationalism.
Yes.
Yes, you will find rational thinking here. Let's see. Vito is supposed to ambush Yellow Flash at San Diego Comic-Con and expose his identity. That's not cool.
That would
look. I'm not. I think it's weird hiding behind a moniker. I just do. I've been outspoken. He tried to cancel me 2 years ago or 3 years ago. 3 years ago, they tried to cancel me and it didn't work because I don't care. It's like, did you say this? I kept getting these things. Did you say this? And I went, yes. And I said that. And I said that. Oh my God, I just keep saying things.
I have no problem with somebody not wanting their face to be seen, but I just feel like people will get my message a little better if they see my facial expression. So
Yeah.
that's what I do.
Well, there's that, and I think there's something. I love Doomcock. Anybody who protects their careers, I get it. I have a lot of friends who hide behind a moniker to protect their careers.
Yeah.
I get that. Personally, I don't care. I didn't get I got hired for G.I. Joe, but didn't get to do any work because of my political standings and my being a veteran. And that was not on YouTube. I was not on YouTube when that happened.
And that's bizarre. G.I. Joe of all things, right?
Yeah.
Don't want a vet for G.I. Joe. Okay.
Joe is hate the fake characters. Joe
is hate the fake characters. Okay.
Yes.
I don't know what that means, but
if you put that in quotation marks, I think it would make more sense. Like Joe is, quote, hate the fake characters, end quote.
Hating on? No, I'm not hating on anybody.
I think
I don't like fake. I don't dig fake. I don't dig people who don't have a really viable reason why they're hiding. It's like if it's your career, I get it. If you're trying to protect your career, totally get that. Past that, I have a problem with hiding behind a moniker. But then again, I was raised, fucking stand up, speak your mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't be afraid of blowback.
I hate the fake characters. Okay, that makes sense. Look, the piece of advice that everybody, including Gerry, gave me when I started this journey 2.5, almost 3 years ago was be legit. Don't act a certain way trying to get people to watch you. Be yourself. And I've always
exactly
stuck to that. Yeah. So
this is the shit I was talking about. That's why I wasn't brought on. The marching orders that were given to him when I left, when he left, Andy Schmidt, when he left, was he's going to Hasbro to work on G.I. Joe and Transformers for Hasbro. And he left the marching orders that Gerry's the new cover artist, and it never happened. It wasn't until Tom did, right at the tail end of them losing their license, right before they lost it. I finally got to do my cover. You're a flight away. They have to spend a lot to try messing with you, Gerry. I don't want anyone calling my work to get me fired. No, see, look, Shanatsky, you're part of what I'm talking about. You protect your career. So you do not get defensive with me at all. You're part of what I'm talking about. Guys that need to protect their career. I don't care. But not everybody can be me. Just not give a shit. I just don't care. It's like people go, come on, you care a little bit. No, I really don't care. Really don't care.
Yeah.
It's like Bush was writing me earlier about the VA. I'm like, I really don't care to talk about this, dude. You're bouncing off the wrong guy. I don't give two shits about the VA. I want no part of it. I'm pissed at them. And I don't think that they operate. I think they're almost criminal in the way they conduct business.
Yeah.
And leave soldiers to die. That's like, just imagine having control of the boats and refusing to pick up soldiers on a beach and leaving them to the enemy.
Yeah.
And to starve to death. That's the same difference to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same fucking difference.
Well, I think it's just the nature of socialized medicine, buddy. You're going to be overwhelmed. You're going to be overwhelmed, and you're not going to be able to handle it. They've started to let guys go to their own personal doctors and pay for it. They've started that process, but it's not near as pervasive as it should be. You know what I mean?
Also, I've made it clear too, by the way, Joe,
mm-hmm.
I am armed.
Yeah, no doubt.
I will fuck your shit up.
Yeah.
You try fucking with me. Show up at my house.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Yeah.
All we have to do here is if I shoot you and you fly out the door, I will drag you back into the house.
A veteran is the last person you want to mess with showing up at their door. Yeah, you really don't want to do that because we're all armed Believe
Unless
that.
they're really good with stabby instruments.
Right? I've always got a knife in my pocket, boys and girls.
Always,
No doubt.
always dangerous.
You see Foxy over there. She's in production. That's what
Yeah,
I've been.
that's like, yeah, here we go.
That's why
I was
I've been,
venting, and now
Foxy-
Gary is venting about what I was venting about.
right?
Because I was sitting there, I'm serious, Bush. I'm like going, why the fuck am I in the wrong? Is he? And I'm looking, is this a group? Did he respond to something somebody said? I'm like, why is he talking to me about this? I don't care.
Right.
Like, and then I'm like, no, this is. And then I asked him, I said, was this meant for another group? Because I don't care about this shit at all. I don't give two shits about the VA. They are a horrible organization.
Yeah. It's sad.
Did you
the
shoot me?
fate of all
I would never
organizations
shoot
to
you
become
as long as you
horrible.
bring me food.
That's
an
right.
easy way to make
You
things
show up
quicker.
at my door with food, you will not be shot.
No,
Oh, that's your Trojan horse then.
there it is. There's your way in, Boosh. There it is.
Oh, he knows
Mr.
that.
Conscientious Objector. Yeah, it's true.
Did I get
Oh,
enough done?
Remember, I will be violent. I just won't be ordered to be violent. That's what made me a conscientious objector. If the sergeant told me those guys are coming up over that ridge and they're going to kill us if you don't shoot, I would absolutely open fire.
Light them up. Are you kidding me?
I'd absolutely smoke them. I'd go to sleep the sleep of the justified. I'd be just fine. But when I had to explain that to my first sergeant, I kind of was irritated that he thought I was a fucking pacifist. I'm like, when have I ever behaved like a pacifist? Ever? Never. I'm a jerk and prone to violence quickly. It's like I'm friendly, and it's like my sergeant once said, says, Gary's one of those guys, you just he has no fuse. You say the wrong thing to him and he will erupt.
Yeah.
And it's just best to not break the glass on him until absolutely needed. And that's what he said. Don't break the glass on him until absolutely needed. Because that's the way I work.
When I hear
and everything goes out the door
what
too.
I think is, I mean, they have these things in the military, guys, called lawful and unlawful orders. Gary's just
you
has
can
a brain.
countermand.
He's not going to follow an unlawful order. He's not going to
absolutely.
Yeah.
When we're told that, now that doesn't mean they're not going to fuck you up in court, because
No.
Doesn't
mean there's not going to be consequences for not doing
Jag
it.
will absolutely wreck you, because they basically said, look, man, if we get you in court, you have no rights.
Yeah.
You have a right to an attorney, but past that, that's it. We will ruin your life. You will be kicked out for what you did. Even if you prove that it was right, you're going to get kicked out of the military for it. So it's like, you better be prepared. But the fact is unlawful orders, you cannot. If you believe that an order puts you or your men into unacceptable danger, unnecessary danger, you can countermand an order, reject an order. But boy, you better be ready to prove it.
Yeah, it's something you don't play that card unless you know what the hell you're doing. No doubt.
Yeah. In fact, if you want to see a film that talks about that, is the Australian, what was that fucking war film? It was during, I think, the Boer War, about the execution. Oh, before I even look it up, I just remembered it. Breaker Morant.
What is it?
That's how your brain works.
Breaker Morant.
Breaker Morant. I've heard of that. Yeah.
It's a true story of men given a command to do something. They did it, and then it was the military held a tribunal, finds each of them guilty for following that order. That was an unlawful order. They followed an unlawful order. And they were then shot at dawn. And in the movie, the Equalizer actor from the original Equalizer plays one of the officers, and he shouts the line. And it was actually said, they said there's a record that he said this, shoot straight, you bloody bastards. Don't make a mess of it.
Yeah, right. Don't
Great
cock it up,
movie.
as they say over there across the pond.
Yep. UCMJ is very specific, and you do have to be careful if you countermand an order, because well, I mean, that's really what was at the crux of the story of the mutiny on the
I was just
Kane
going to
mutiny.
mention,
the Kane mutiny,
the mutiny,
and was it a lawful, or was it a lawful act, or was it mutiny?
right?
And in the end, the prosecuting or the defense attorney approaches all of them. And he says, "We all know what you did.
Mm-hmm.
We all know exactly what you did. You played all the numbers correctly, but we know what you did. You didn't like him. You didn't like the old school officer. So you played the system to destroy a man's career and life." And he throws the author, throws the drink in his face. And I love that scene. It's a great scene.
Mm-hmm.
Pass a fist.
I like that.
Oh, man.
I like the one Monkey Jeebus put up there. The Equalizer.
Oh, my God. What? Noel Coward said Edward Woodward's name sounds like a fart in a bath. Edward Woodward.
Bloop, bloop.
Oh God, now I can't unhear that.
Noel Coward was anything but, man. That guy served his country. How many strawberries did you have, Gary? I wish I had strawberries right now. Fuck, man.
It's not season yet.
So I want to make sure I saw everybody. So let's go ahead. We'll round this out now. So Sci-Fi Mombi was here. Andy Morrow, FKHC 2005, our good friend Tim. Penny was here. Dadman Walking, Real Wade Nation Gaming Live, Read by Nature, Shinatsky, Bush McFadden, Ariel the Bullet Ballet, Gap After Dark, Monk Ajibas, thank you, Kamakan, and our dear friend, my dear friend, Mark Hojo was here. Good to see all you guys. And I hope everybody's going to have a good Monday. I've got to get to it. I got to call my niece, so I have to get going. She's I'm doing some artwork for her. Her and her mom are the only two that ever hire me for work in my family. That's why Jesus couldn't preach in Nazareth, man. They would go to another artist before going to their own fucking brother, no matter how good I am. That just always bugs me.
My mother commissioned me to draw a building. Soul crushing. It's a historic building up in Maine.
Yes, technically what they did was very problematic, and they were lucky that some of them only lost the stripe over it.
Yeah, they weren't resigning. They weren't asking for reassignment in other companies
because they refused to serve under that guy. It's true though. But just like the character in Rescue Dawn, there are others that have come forward and said that he wasn't as bad as what they made it sound. It's just people had grudges against him because of the way he treated them.
Well, I don't know. When the guy died, not even his family went to his funeral. So
that's true.
I think
it's true. But I am saying it's a fact that other people have come to his defense.
However,
and it's the same thing as a CIA operative that you meet in the film Rescue Dawn with Batman. What's his name? Christian Bale.
Yeah. However,
Captain
Sobel, he received a Purple Heart for being wounded in the disembarkment of Normandy. So he wasn't a wussy.
No.
What he was a bad commander.
He was. He also didn't know how to read a fucking map. And that's historically factual.
That's a bad thing if you're going to be a commander.
Yeah. You're a commander in a military unit, you better know how to read a fucking map.
Yeah. No doubt.
And that situation was true. That ended up happening. Any soldier in the volunteer military can ask to leave. Gary, what's it called? Soldier in the volunteer army opts out. It's kind of hard once you end up in a unit. But it's volunteer. You can claim being a pacifist, and they will have to put you in a job where you don't have to do military stuff. And
That's what my
I
dad did.
was too proud to do that. I was too proud. I got angry because right when we were wrapping up basic training, things had ramped up to become Desert Shield.
Mm-hmm.
And they were threatening us
The first
in
trip.
basic
Yeah.
to send us. And Julio, Holland, and I, 3 of us, went in to see our senior NCOs and said, hey, we'll volunteer to go right now. And our senior NCOs were like, weren't expecting that. They were like, we can't send you from basic.
Yeah.
I said, oh, then that was just bullshit. And he goes, yeah, we're just getting in people's heads. That's what we do. You guys are good soldiers. Because our NCOs liked us, because we weren't foobar, fuck jobs, fuck chops, whatever you want to call it in the Army.
Mm-hmm.
We were good soldiers. And so he says, if you go, you'll be going with your unit. Oh, okay. So we can't volunteer to go from here. No, you cannot volunteer to go from here.
No, you're in training. Yeah, you got
you're
to
in
finish
basic
training
right
first,
now.
boys and girls.
You got to finish AIT before you can do anything.
My mother called.
They were just trying to get into kids' heads.
My mother called Fort McClellan, and I was in the hospital with an upper respiratory infection, and it was the Grenada invasion. She called to see where I was at, and I was like,
"It's not dishonorable.
No.
It is what's referred to as a less than honorable discharge. Yeah. You can also get a medical discharge if it's mental or medical. You will be get a. There's no such thing as a Section 8. That was made up term for a movie. Yeah. There is a medical discharge from the military for mental issues. And if you try to commit suicide during basic training, I remember having to tell the guys this. The only thing you get, the strongest thing you're going to get is ibuprofen. If you try to overdose with that, you will puke it up before it can kill you.
Yep.
Because it irritates the stomach lining. And you put enough in there, you're going to throw up. And we had one guy try it. And just like I warned him, I said, you will not have a moment's privacy. You'll have a soldier with you at all times, even while you're sleeping. And when you go to the bathroom, I said, if you notice there's one stall in there, the door is a different color than all the other doors. It's because that door is removable. Now pull it off. You don't get the shit or piss in privacy. There's a soldier watching you at all times. The kid didn't believe me. And he went and tried it.
Oops. Yep.
Speed's different. Yeah, Section 8 isn't a real thing. Now, I understand that at one point it was based on something in the old military, but not since World War II. There hasn't been a Section 8. Section 8 means that you're mental and you're going to get put out on a medical discharge.
You're Klinger.
And
yep.
We had one guy, I met one guy who had, I didn't have him, but it was a guy I met. He had opened fire on his own people. Oof. And he was put out on a medical, but given also a less than honorable discharge. So he wasn't allowed to have benefits.
Yeah.
As long as you have an honorable discharge, medical or otherwise, you can still get your VA benefits.
Yeah, there's several levels of it. You got honorable, less than honorable. You got general. I think general's above a less than honorable, though. I think general is just
general discharge doesn't mean anything.
No. You got medical, and dishonorable.
And it's important.
That's the one you don't want.
Yep, I got honorable, and
I do too.
I got super honorable.
Oh, not super honorable. He's Audie Murphy
super
caliber.
Duper honorable.
Yeah.
What's this Patreon? Get $100 gift card. I don't think that's real. Yeah, it doesn't even address me by my name. This is supposedly from Patreon. It says, "Hi there."
Whatever.
That's clearly spam. It's not just spam. It's worse than spam. I believe it's a fishing expedition. So I'm going.
Just remember, boys and girls, when you get emails like that, do not hit any links. If you accidentally open it, it's okay, but don't hit any links. That's what they're trying to get you to do. That's when your shit
opening
goes
email
haywire.
won't hurt you.
Yeah.
What hurts you is if you click any link in that email, they will fucking fish your fucking everything. They'll grab everything that they can gather. And there's a lot they can gather.
Yes.
to a browser.
Absolutely.
Marine Corps, yeah. My boy was sent to maintain weirdos. One guy ran as fast as he could in the barracks and smacked his head into the wall, concrete wall.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Section 8 was brought up in MASH.
Yeah.
And it's a fictional term, doesn't exist. It didn't exist
Klinger.
during the Korean War.
Klinger's trying to get a Section 8.
Yeah. And it's just simply a medical discharge.
Yep.
Because at that time, homosexuality was referred to as mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
Cross-dressing, mental illness. What's this? Be safe. I use ESET protection. It goes the full mile.
Nice.
LDG, I'm just curious, when you roll the ESET all the way down, can you read the code number at the bottom?
Oh, man.
I wear protection too.
Time to end the show, I think.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
It's about to take that turn.
Yeah, because I do have to go talk to my niece. I love my niece. And let's see. Be safe. Use ESET. Morning, everyone. Good morning to you, my friend. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. We're going to be back next week with Gallipoli, which is just a powerful film.
I got to do homework for that one, but I'm looking forward to it. Mel Gibson, right?
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Mel Gibson, while he still had his Aussie accent.
Gotcha.
So, but that's it, guys. Everybody have a good Monday. Watch later. We will be on Dark Matters Radio at 6 p.m. Central Time. I'll be there with Don Ecker. Sadly, Mark won't be joining us. He's having issues right now that he's trying to deal with. Everybody send your positive prayers and thoughts out to this guy. So I love Mark Center. He's a cool dude. But we are out of here, guys. Have a great day.
Bye, guys.
Everybody's heard about the bird. Here is the bird. Bush, did you hear the word? Fuck you, Shanatsky.